Hey everybody, it's Wednesday and that means it's time for another Bible story time. And this week, instead of reading from the Gospels, I'm going to take us way back to the first book of the Bible, a book called Genesis. And we're going to read a little bit of an extended story about a young man named Joseph who has kind of a roller coaster ride. His story starts in Genesis chapter 37 when he kind of gets on his brother's nerves, and his brothers decide that they're going to get rid of him by selling him into slavery to some passing slave traders. Joseph ends up hundreds of miles away from home, and eventually, through a series of interventions from God, ends up becoming one of the most powerful people in the entire land of Egypt. We're going to pick up Joseph's story toward the end, and we'll see a little bit about what happens towards the end of that story. This is from the Spark Story Bible, and we're reading from this with permission of Sparkhouse and 1517 Media. And the story we're reading is called Joseph Helps His Family. God always watched over Joseph. God spoke to Joseph in dreams, and Joseph used this knowledge to plan ahead. When a famine came, people from all over came to find food for their families because they heard that Joseph had saved up for 7 years. Even Joseph's brothers traveled to Egypt to find food. But it had been such a long time since they'd seen each other, the brothers didn't recognize Joseph. Joseph kept the secret of who he was from his brothers for a while, but soon he couldn't any longer. Joseph finally told them who he was. "I am your brother Joseph, who you sold to the Egyptian traders. Don't feel bad anymore, because God sent me ahead of you so that I could save people, including you. This famine is going to last for many years, so hurry back to our father and tell him that I am safe. I want you to bring your families and your children and all of your sheep and goats to live near me." Once Joseph's brothers saw who he was, they all hugged each other and cried. They jumped up and down with relief and joy. Joseph and his brothers talked and talked. The brothers talked from the time the sun came up to the time the sun went down. When the Pharaoh heard that Joseph's brothers had come, he told Joseph, "Tell them to go get everyone in your family. I will give them the best land in Egypt to call their own." Joseph gave his brothers wagons, food, and new clothes, and they went back to their father and told him the good news. "Joseph is still alive. He is the ruler of all of Egypt." Everyone danced when they heard the news. "This is all I could ask for," Joseph's father said. "Now I will see my son again. Let's get moving." Joseph's family all moved to Egypt. But the brothers were worried. "What if Joseph is still angry with us? We were so awful to him. What can we do?" The brothers went to Joseph and said, "Here we are. We don't deserve to be your brothers anymore, so we will be your slaves." But Joseph said to them, "Don't be silly. I am your brother no matter what. Even though you planned for something bad to happen to me, God turned it into something good." I know many of you have brothers and sisters, and if they had done to you what Joseph's brothers did to him, I wonder if we would have had a little bit of a different reaction. That's the question that the Story Bible here asks. How would you have felt if you had been Joseph and were seeing your brothers after such a long time, and after what he would have done to you? Something interesting to ponder. How do you feel when your brothers or sisters do something that you don't like? How do you make things right again later? Really good stuff for us to think about. I invite you to pray with me. Holy God, we thank you that even when things are hard and tough, you can help to make them better. Help us to rely on you and to trust in your love for each one of us. Amen. We're still looking forward to seeing you guys when Sunday school gets back underway on October 4th. Until then, stay safe, be well, and we'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.